Well, Sean, you're talking about getting some patches. You share that in common with the Boston Bruins because Katie Nolan, I feel that soon they're going to be wearing Stanley Cup patches on their uniforms because they're going to be participating in the Stanley Cup final. Hi, Katie.
DJ, you're the king of the transition. I was looking for it. It's why when you're in the waiting room for this show, you have to pay close attention because at any second, the Michaels may pivot to you, and now you're on. So well done, DJ. Hi, good to see you guys.
It's the only time of the show that I'm quiet for like 60 seconds because I'm just waiting to pounce. I'm like, fucking plant something. Say patch. I fucking dare you.
What's your favorite aisles at Michael's?
Well, first, look, can we talk about the birdhouses? Because why are there so many? I haven't seen that many birdhouses out in the streets. Who are they selling all these birdhouses to? Why are there so many?
It's not a good seller. They're expecting.
Oh, maybe that's why they're the same bird houses that have been on the shelves the whole time. They never have to restock.
But then when you go up to pay for it, they're like, "Are you aware this birdhouse is expired? This is a birdhouse that is from 2003.
There was a bird murdered in this house. That's why it hasn't sold.
Oh, haunted birdhouse.
You don't want birdhouse.
You're required to tell a prospective buyer if a bird has died in the birdhouse by law.
Do you guys want to see the saddest thing?
Yes.
Is it a dead bird? Oh,
Myrtle in a cone.
Oh, Myrtle the star.
Yeah, she's so cute, but my God, does she have conjunctivitis? And my God, is it disgusting.
I didn't know dogs could get conjunctivitis.
Me neither, but I Googled it, and they can. And so we're going to the vet today, but we haven't gone yet. So she's in the cone of shame.
But they usually have, dogs are very prone to getting, I don't know what you lot call them, but sleepy men?
Sleepies, yeah.
Yeah, I'm being British. Do you know what sleepy men are?
Yeah, they're like goopies in your eyes.
Yeah. Do you call them sleepy men?
Sleepies.
So sleepy.
Yeah, I call them sleepies.
Is this correct? Goopy men.
Goopy men, Sean. What do you call them?
I don't have a name for them.
Sean's a cat guy.
Sean's like, I don't get them.
You've never talked about having something in your eye? You've never had to...
Like eye crusties, I guess? Like
crusties? All right, that's fair.
Like, get dry. That's disgusting, but it's your choice. You gotta catch them
Is that James Myrtle? Do you know James Myrtle? Leafs writer.
Oh, yeah. No. That's my dog. Myrtle. It's different.
Way cuter than James Myrtle.
Named after a car in Rocket League.
Katie, I see you adorned in Boston Bruins gear. I'd love to know what your journey...
Oh, damn. That's
a good jacket.
That's a great
jacket. What is
jacket.
it? Is that a QZ or is it a... No, that's an FZ.
What are you saying?
Full zip.
Oh, it's full zip. It's a full zip. I was like, the brand? I have no idea. It's the full zip. Yeah, all the way up and down.
Very good. Now, is that some sort of reissue thing, or did you get...
Screw you. I was at the parade.
That's so insulting.
What? Do you think I just bought this?
No, so Pete knows this. I don't like stuff that's reissue-y to make it look like it's from a time that it wasn't.
Well, this does look like it's older than 2011, but it is from 2011. This is when
I think DJ was being a little sexist. He was like,
probably.
Yeah. You a real fan? Name 5 players.
I love Pete not dropping it when DJ does it because I bet DJ does that so rarely. But yes, DJ, fuck you. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't think that was sexist, but tell you what, Double Jeopardy, I'm going to be, at least one time, I'm going to be very sexist the rest of the way. So everybody keep your ears up. I tell you what, I couldn't do it if I tried. I
do believe when you say that. Don't drink water, Katie. You're on camera. I have to keep reminding myself I'm not just talking to my friends.
No, you are. You can drink water. It's totally fine.
Tell me your range.
So try. What?
Tell me your range of emotions the last 4 days, because it has gone from the Bruins are the chokiest team ever to what now for you?
So listen, I remember how excited and cocky I was feeling after game 1 of the last series. So my body is not letting me experience. I feel like if you're going to see the full room, you should also see Myrtle. I'll just talk from over here. Oh, look at her.
Great natural light, by the way.
Thank you. She hates watching the Bruins. I'll tell you that. She's not a fan because when my emotions go, she keeps looking at me like, do we have to go? Are we in danger? And it's just like, I can't explain to her that like, no, humans care about stuff that doesn't matter at all. But yeah, it's been a range of emotions. I feel good right now. I feel like we looked we did less of the things that scare and frustrate me last night than we have been in like games like 5 and 6. Like we looked better. Did we look great? No. And do I think that we sort of a little bit benefited from the Panthers not looking great? Yes. But I also, it's a win and it was by a lot of goals. Even though I would say the game didn't reflect that to me. I wish I felt as confident as I would after like what a 5-1 should feel like, but I don't. But I also feel completely unmoored. I'm a ship floating out at sea. I have no idea how to feel. I'm just trying not to get my heart broken because I don't know why. I feel like this year it would hurt more.
So you think they could hurt you this year? Because there's, at least for me, there's a house money element to this. And once they got out of that series...
Sorry, you were talking. You talked.
No, once they got out of that series against the Leafs, it's like, well, I guess... Now, because hockey's so fucking stupid, they're going to win the cup or something dumb like that.
Okay, and I felt that way. But then, I don't know, now after we've played one game and I'm back on this show, which I feel like, was it not after game 1 that I did this show last series? I feel like my brain is immediately going, oh, well, this is the other side of getting your hopes up. Like if you let yourself believe that this could maybe be something, then you're going to have to, again, deal with how much that hurts. So I'm like trying to talk myself back from caring so that it won't potentially hurt if anything happens. I want to stay in the headspace of house money. Who cares? Whatever happens here happens. I'm starting to care too much.
You ever watch the show Becker? Because you sound like the main character of that show, John Becker, Dr. John Becker. His disposition is like, I don't fucking care about anything. None of you are going to make me feel. I smoke a cigarette.
That's basically me. My ideal life. I would love if I could live my life that way. If I could not care. Pete, have you noticed more people are smoking cigarettes again? It's making it really hard to keep not. I'm just going to say that.
Are you a cigarette gal?
Yes, dude. I like every single tweet you ever tweet about cigarettes. I don't know how it hasn't been incredibly obvious that I feel exactly the same. Dan and I talk about it every day.
I feel like we're...
Don't smoke. Don't smoke.
But if you do, I will think so much higher of you.
I used to do jokes about cigarettes and how cigarettes were the best and everything. And I liked when Pete would do them. And then he got to a point where I was like, I think you're actually going to start smoking cigarettes. And if you do that, you're a fucking loser and I'm going to kick the shit out of you. You're not a loser if you smoke cigarettes out there, folks. But don't let the cigarette joke actually turn into you smoking cigarettes if you can help it.
DJ's so scared. DJ's
Be
so
safe.
scared. Pete, I'll say if you start smoking again, then that means it's okay for me to start smoking again. So don't start smoking again.
I like it's nice as like a little treat.
But some of us can't have it as a little treat. Some of us just recently quit the stupid little mints they give you to help you quit cigarettes. I haven't had a cigarette in years, but I was addicted to little tiny candies, and that sucked. And I just recently kicked them, so now I extra want a cigarette.
So you actually smoked cigarettes?
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that when goofballs like us joke about them, it's stolen valor?
Wait, why?
Because
you didn't smoke cigarettes?
Neither of us have smoked cigarettes before.
I don't like chain smoke cigarettes.
Oh, this is different. I wish I could erase this. I wish we could edit this all
I
out.
absolutely meant to fucking out you there. It's like, you know that he doesn't fucking smoke, right?
Damn, Pete, you're much less cool than I thought. Anyway,
I'm
let's
sorry.
wrap this up.
I'm like a treat. I'm like a dessert cigarette kind of guy.
And those are that's
cool.
why I feel that like non-cigarette smokers like cigarettes, because like a cigarette as a treat is Sean's nodding. Absolute fucking best.
I mean, Sean witnessed me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you were in your bag.
That was like I was a little bit more than dessert. That was like I was at a dessert buffet.
Vegas, the whole thing is dessert in Vegas.
Well, let me ask you this: if you're a cigarette as a treat person, what do you do with when you first feel stressed after having experienced a cigarette? Like, because once I felt stress and I knew how a cigarette made me feel, that was when I was like, oh, well, this was a treat, but now I'm stressed out, so I'm going to smoke a cigarette. And then it became that. How do you
smoke
not
weed?
Okay, well, that's fine. Let's not talking about drugs. Let's watch this. We're on a streaming platform.
Do you two have like healthy relationships with food or something? What's wrong with you?
No, I mean, I have girl relationship. I don't think I have a girl relationship with food.
It's a terrible country, and the way that we treat women, Katie, is no good for me. So not only was I not sexist,
this is an overcorrection.
I'm an ally.
This segment is called Flicking the Bean.
Finally, finally, a white guy stands up for the white gals out there.
Yeah, finally.
Finally.
But I feel like we're very much cut from the same cloth with the cigarettes, but also the Bruins, because I'm just waiting for the fucking bottom to fall out. But they've pulled me back in, and there's just so many things are happening over like the last 48 hours that I can't ignore. It's not just kicking the shit out of the Panthers. It's Brandon Carlo having a baby, taking a private jet and scoring the funniest goal that I've ever seen. It just like slipping off of his stick.
PJ Carlo is very cool. Didn't see that coming.
PJ Carlo, Crew Carlo, badass name. Like Jeremy Swayman just turning all of Twitter horny by licking his jersey and biting it. And like, I don't know if you saw the video, Pat Maroon now is like Mr. Bruin. Did you see the handshake line video?
Oh,
Yeah.
When he was surfing everybody?
Still not crazy about that.
What do you mean?
Okay. What do you mean?
I'll let Pat Maroon happen. I'm just not all the way there yet. I'm not like, Pat Maroon is a...
I kind of see what you're saying.
No, I don't. I'm like full in on Pat. If you trade for Pat Maroon has to become Mr. Boston Bruin, or else the trade is a failure. The reason that Pat Maroon was brought here was to be the playoff guy. He didn't even play during the regular season. So Pat Maroon needs to have an impact during the playoffs, and chances are he's not going to have as much of an impact on the ice as you want. So if he's the locker room guy, if he's the guy in the handshake line who's making the boys feel good about themselves, that's my Pat Maroon.
Can I say I agree? And DJ, I think you do too, that you agree with him. You understand what he's saying? I think for me, don't make me cite a specific example, but I think in that last series, Maroon did a couple negative things on the ice that was, he has
like
not
play?
done enough. Yeah, like the way his play wasn't a plus, but it was like, it wasn't neutral. It was a little bit of a minus. And so I feel like I need at least 2 more games of him doing this, like Mr. Bruin being the guy that does that before it's going to, bring him back to like, okay, yeah, now it's cool. I just need a couple more games of him doing it. And then I think I'll be in on it.
He's just the guy and I can't think of an example of this where like a bunch of criminals are doing something and someone ends up in the crew that like there's a bad pass there and it's like, okay, but I still don't trust you. I don't think that Pat Maroon's going to like fuck the Bruins. I hope they don't give him enough power or playing time to do that. But I just still have a little bit of that where like mentally when I'm in the handshake line and I'm celebrating the game and everything, I'm like dapping up all my guys. And then I see Pat Maroon and I'm just like, and kind of move on.
I think he called the Panthers pussies last night.
He did. That's good behavior. I
love
did like that.
It's also factual.
It's cool behavior. Panthers are cats.
So
we're allies.
He's right.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Nice.
Sure.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get sucked too far into believing in this team because I don't know how much of what we saw last night was sustainable. I don't know how much of it is attributed to the Panthers being on rest. I don't know.
Pete, you don't think Brajol is going to score every game? I do.
The goal scorers last night were fucking hilarious. You had Brandon Carlo, Mason Lohrei, Brezzo. Who else got on the board?
Jake DeBrusk, empty netter.
Yeah.
That's not that could happen again. Oh, Morgan Geekie.
Yeah.
Like a hilarious collection of goal scorers. But that's also you could play either side of the coin there. You could say, well, like, yeah, maybe these guys aren't going to light it up, but like you got a game where you won because of guys that are off the board putting pucks in the back of the net.
Two things that I don't know if will happen again. Aaron Ekblad was so bad. He factored into everything that the Bruins did last night. And Sergei Bobrovsky, very good goaltender, Vezina finalist. He can always be got. He can be got.
Yeah, he can be got for sure. He's like the biggest Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde goaltender in the NHL.
And David Pastrnak was awesome last night, even if he didn't score. So things are trending, I would say. This was, to get back to what Katie said off the top, like this was the best game the Bruins have played in like a week and a half since game 4. No?
Did I say that? When
Yeah.
did I say that?
You said that that they hadn't played well in recent games, and this was a game where you thought they were putting more things together. I thought the Bruins looked like actually good last night. They hadn't looked good for 3 games.
Is Bobrovsky going to leave the upstairs just available to us for the entire series? Because that would be nice. I wouldn't hate that if he just always leaves that door unlocked.
It's bad behavior. He should not have been in reverse VH there. Not to get nerdy, but we talk about reverse VH on this podcast.
Can I just be transparent that I have no idea what that means, and I do not intend to learn?
I'll tell you what, they were hammering it on the ESPN broadcast. I was pleasantly surprised by that. It's when you go down against the post and your leg is on the ice, and then one is up. I'm sorry.
Do you think that he heard that part, or do you think he's just...
I'm sorry. That was sexist of me.
Mansplaining it to me anyway.
Yep. I sure did.
God, DJ, you're really sexist, and I'm starting to see it.
He's having a tough day.
A tough day.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna have to text you after I get off this and go, DJ, I was only kidding. You're okay. Don't stress out, so that I know.
No, I'm gonna fucking give a peek behind the curtain. Katie texts me the nicest fucking things in the world because Katie is such a nice person, and she's she's Johnny Joke Maker, but she is the nicest person in this stupid, horrible industry. So suck it, Katie.
That was good. You got me there. We weren't gonna tell anybody that, but okay.
Burn.
No, I'm kind.
Chat says you guys are so confident. I don't think that's true.
I am. I know Bruins in 5.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm not confident. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, and I wasn't expecting to be feeling good. I'm rarely ever expecting to be feeling good. So when I feel good, maybe it exudes confidence. It's not confidence.
It's you not knowing how to feel good.
Yes.
I have a question.
Ahead.
I figured I'd wait my turn this time. Can you use the smart hockey words to tell me what's up with McAvoy? Is he hurt? What's going on?
Turnovers, really bad. And what's good for the Bruins is that what the Bruins are experiencing with McAvoy is 100 times worse for the Panthers right now with Aaron Ekblad. But you'll take that Lindholm has been a little better. He wasn't great last night, but like if Lindholm is better, the Bruins are in good shape. But McAvoy needs to at least be kind of McAvoy, and for
not if you have Mason Lohrei, who is just the coolest motherfucker in the world.
The whole experience is weird.
It's way past his bedtime. That is a little boy.
That is a little
Katie,
boy.
when the Bruins drafted him, and I need to mention that someone in the chat said, DJ, do you want to call Katie a slur? Great callback. Amazing. They're now doing puns on my name. DJ being a sexist guy. Stop doing that, everybody.
I wish I could see the chat. Hi, chat.
The Bruins reached for Mason Lohrei. They didn't have a first-round pick the year that they drafted him, and he was like the 150th ranked North American skater by Central Scouting, and they took him in the second round. And everybody was like, who the fuck is that guy? And people looked up, they just Googled him, Mason Lohrei. Katie, he looked even 10 years younger than he looks right now. It looked like the weirdest pick. He is a baby, and he's from Louisiana.
They drafted
so fucking weird.
They drafted a redheaded infant from Louisiana in the second round.
I think I'm gonna love him. I think I'm gonna be a big Lohrei guy. So I'm pretty stoked about it.
So the conversation that we had around Lohrei yesterday was like DJ pointing out that he loves to do a bunch of shit without it leading to anything. And so in game 1, he did a bunch of shit and then didn't score. And DJ tweeted was like, fucking Lohrei.
Like I know you're also horny for him, but like the Bruins should be winning right now, but he's fucking around.
And then 2 minutes later, he does some cool ass shit and goes top shelf and gives the Bruins a 2-1 lead. And I said yesterday on the show, I was like, he just needs to get the first one. I think that he just needs to break through, and he's going to be the coolest motherfucker in the world. So we are officially on Lohrei watch.
Let's go.
Is a G. I love that guy.
Someone said to me yesterday when so I'm not like complaining about him. I guess I'm doing the annoying thing where everyone loves him so much, and I'm like, it can be better. Let's wait for it to be good before we're so. I know it's a little hatery, and I did the same thing. Oddly enough, I remember I did the same thing with Torrey Krug, where I was like, he's gonna be good. Let's wait for him to be good. I did the same thing with Mac Jones, but I knew that Mac Jones wasn't going to be good. I knew that I was setting up those fucking dummies to continue looking dumb. But I explained my Mason Lohrei thing.
That position allows for you to go, I always knew, or it allows you to go, okay, we're in on him now. That's why it stinks. That's why it's annoying.
It's no good. I should be better than that. I don't know if I am better than that, though. It's one of the many questions we explore. But he looks like a kid sometimes, like in his bedroom playing hockey, being
Love
like,
that.
oh, through the legs, and then just like throws it off the ceiling. And it would be nice if it ended up being a pass to somebody or a shot. And one of my friends said he's like hockey parkour.
Hell yes.
He's just like jumping around. He's like, ooh, boo, then like just like flips it onto the bench, and it didn't hurt, but
he has superpowers, but he has yet to, like, he's not, you know, in all that trope where like they have to learn what they're able to do so that then they can do it properly. So it's gonna just give it a sec. It's coming. We're unlocking it.
He's Tobey Maguire falling off the roof of that New York City building as he's trying to figure out how to sling webs.
Exactly right. A poet, Pete. Thank you.
Thanks.
I just think it's so non-Bruins. And I know that over the years, like they dropped McAvoy in as a rookie. They called up Krug when he was a rookie-ish, even though they were benching Dougie Hamilton, who was like the 10th overall pick for that entire playoff run. It's not very Bruins to put a young defenseman out there and be like,
figure it out.
Fuck shit up, I guess.
Yeah.
Like that is just so, there's no structure to it.
That is very true. Like the Bruins are always the team that's like, we'll play you, but you got to act like an adult or else you're out of there.
Make mistakes within the system kind of thing. Mason Lowry's like, are you aware that I can go like this a bunch? I think I'll be doing that, coach.
I'm very excited about Mason Lowry. I'm very excited about this Bruins team because the further they go in the playoffs, the more we're going to see tweets from people being like, yeah, I definitely know who this person was. I've seen that so many times already, and last night was kind of the apex of it with like, yeah, who the fuck is Justin Brazeau? Who the hell is Mason Lowry? Is that a real player? And it's just people finding out that the Bruins just have guys. Big fan.
Yeah, I mean, there was the thing like maybe 2 months ago. There was just a screen grab of the Bruins lines. They didn't have any injuries.
Yeah.
And it was just, how the fuck is this team good? Totally fair.
Mm-hmm.
Last night we were doing some post-game stuff, and I brought up what we discussed yesterday, which is like of all the remaining playoff teams, the Bruins are roster-wise are the most what the fuck are these guys doing here team. So I guess it reflects on the leadership or whatever. And this is crazy to say because if Jeremy Swayman didn't make that save with 1 second left in the game where they almost scored an own goal, all these guys are gone and they're all villains and everything. But they got a little something, and hockey's just weird and stupid enough that this roster with Brazeau and Morgan Geekie and all these playing Mason Lowry and Parker Wotherspoon, Jesus fucking Christ, can make themselves a nice little run.
I will just say, isn't that your most favorite kind of team to root for? Isn't that the most, like, that's the team that you're like, oh, cool. The reason that won't catch on probably nationally is because of the name on the front of the jersey. But I think the like names on the back of it is like, that's sick. I love a team that you're like, who and they did what, and they're just your little folk heroes. It's the best to root for.
I don't know though. Like I feel like the Bruins could win over a national audience if they keep doing this. Like if they go on a roll and they just fuck shit up with a bunch of like nobodies, I feel like a national audience could be like, all right, this is stupid and weird, but I'm in.
Sean is, I wish that we had the camera on Sean as you were saying that.
No?
He wants to call you a slur so fucking
The
bad.
craziest take I've ever heard. I feel like people in Boston
love the underdogs, though,
No.
even if it is a.
I feel like
They
people
don't
forget
think
in
it's-
Boston how
they don't think
much
it's-
people outside of Boston fucking hate Boston. They don't want
Yeah, you
any
don't
good
get it.
things to happen to Boston sports teams.
Yeah,
But
I
if
live
it's
in New
like-
York. We forget. I live in New York. Like I know. You guys don't know.
No, we
I
don't.
like-
We're in a bubble. We're in a bubble.
But if they were to play like
No.
the Oilers,
No.
you don't think that
Everybody is going to be like, Connor McDavid, get a ring. I'm glad they're playing against a team that we fucking hate, so there's nothing to root
don't
against.
know.
It's just Connor McDavid.
I'm
Big,
curious.
stupid national audience too will just be happy to see the Oilers be really good. There's no chance. I don't think it's us. I do think maybe you could make the argument that the Bruins are the most likely Boston team to be able to do that. But I don't think that I don't think so.
All right, yeah, Chad is saying
they
that
were
I'm-
like
Chad's
the-
saying I'm a fucking moron.
no,
so.
please. If you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly
I
or a Bruin.
from my perspective, doesn't really matter where the team is. If I see a bunch of like kind of scrappy scrappy, like mid-level players come together as a team.
The Isaiah Thomas Celtics, how fun.
Yeah.
Just like a roster of assholes.
Yeah.
And they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals
Sure,
and got
I think
murdered.
Like in 3 years, this season is going to feel like a fever dream no matter what. Like they're wearing one-off jerseys this year. So in 3 years, we could be like, oh, remember when they wore those fucking like weird centennial jerseys and they had Justin Brazeau scoring playoff goals? That was fucking weird, huh? Like this is going to feel like this. We're in the middle of a fever dream and I hope people just can start embracing
You know
it.
what would be the coolest is when we're all, by the way, all of us, if they go deep, or just whatever. We should all go, including Sean, go to a Bruins playoff game. Sean,
I'll hate watch. Absolutely.
You'll hate watch?
I would totally root for the Panthers or the Rangers or Hurricanes, I guess.
but imagine
Wait,
be
who's a fan of Invisible Person.
the
what's
Buffalo Sabres, unfortunately.
Whoa.
yeah, he's having a tough time. He could get the first overall pick though.
You
today,
thought
so
you were
we're
the most
for him.
depressed person on this
I
podcast.
was getting ready to like zing him, and then I was like, oh, never mind.
I grew up a diehard Red Sox fan, so everything sucks right now.
Oh, well, Red Sox fans, a lot of them are yelling about how nobody's talking about how good we are. I'm like,
That is true. I have been doing that. One of the best pitching staffs in baseball. Just saying.
Sure, but does it feel long lasting? Does it feel sustainable in
Not at
any
all.
way?
Not
I
at
mean,
all.
these Bruins have like a little 2013 Red Sox to them. Where it's just-
minus the thing that happened before the 2013 Red Sox.
Yes.
Like that's
yes.
why people like those Red Sox teams.
Well, I'm not saying that like you're right that people rooted for them for that reason, but I'm just saying that it was like after kind of a disastrous season, even though the Bruins were really good last year, but like they just threw a bunch of nobodies together and they ended up winning the World Series. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
What I
Pete,
was going to-
I see the line you're drawing, but it doesn't. I don't think it would be drawn as clearly nationally, especially when the media that's covering it is. Does ESPN have like games deep? Because them not being able to find the puck last night was a little frustrating.
You say games deep?
Like, do they have games? Who has the actual Stanley Cup?
ESPN does this year.
Oh God! Oh my God!
No, I'll tell you what. Last time you were on, we were filling you in on the job that PK Subban's doing. He's gotten a lot better. Ever since he talked about his penis, I don't know if he got a talking to or what.
Galvanized.
Ever since he talking about his penis galvanized him. He has been great. Like pointing stuff out, saying like, no, go back. All right, circle this. I'm like, what have you done with my penis talking guy? He's so good now. It's amazing.
I'm really glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that.
Another great DJ transition on penis talk. What did you think of the Tom Brady roast?
I liked it. I went into it wanting to be a hater about it, and I actually there were some comedians I don't like that I enjoyed them that night. So it was it perfect? No, I think whenever an athlete tries to do a joke that requires a little bit of skill in telling, it always is difficult. And then when they tell the jokes that don't need any skill at all, but are locker room stuff amplified to 1,000, that annoys me. But it was the roast overall itself was really enjoyable. I thought it was really funny.
How has falling in love with a comedian changed your relationship with comedy and watching comedy?
Can I be honest? It's made people think that I only like it because of like the way people treat me talking about comedy now frustrates me, if I can be honest. Because everyone's like, "Oh, because your husband." And I'm like, "No, because I've been working in sports comedy for 10 years." But it's fine. Nobody wants to hear you do that, so I'll say it's just made it. It's fun. It's like breaking down tape, watching jokes with Dan. I like hearing his thoughts on it because I think he's the funniest man in the world, and I love him very much.
He's fucking. Did I tell you last? No, I did tell you last time. I'm kidding. Last time I told you that he might not want to be friends with me, but just like
Yes,
I could tell that he'd make a good impression.
No,
on
I
me.
do. I don't know why you would think that. He's me, and he's the
Yep.
person that loves me more than anything, and I love him more than anything. So why would you not like him? That doesn't make sense to me. He would love
His
you.
thing about the comments on thirst traps and how the grossest, horniest one is the person who's just like, I hope you're having a great day. So fucking good. He's such a funny boy. Amazing. Does he like hockey? He doesn't, does he?
So he no, but that's good for us because he didn't have an allegiance. He is diehard Niners. He's diehard Nuggets. He's die hard, because I think he can hear me, Giants, San Francisco Giants, but he had no hockey team. And so we got him because my family cares about the Bruins first. And then at this point, I'd say probably Bruins, Red Sox, Pats, I don't know, and then the Celtics. So he is now a Bruins guy. Now, is he being loud enough for it? Not loud enough for my tastes. I would have liked a little bit more repping from him in a couple ways, but it's early. It's early in the fandom. And I will say last year was the first year he like really rooted, and that was a tough first year as a Bruins fan. So,
But
that's how you get into a team.
Yeah,
when
like
they
that
fuck
was
you right off the bat.
That was his indoctrination. Like he's an asshole if he cheers for the Bruins and they win the cup the first year that he's cheering for the Bruins. So I'm gonna go to bat for him. Like that was the best thing for him.
Good. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's going to be the start of something beautiful. He has watched a bunch of the games when he's here, so he's putting in his time, he's putting in his hours, and hopefully we'll get him in some black and gold at some point. That's absolutely not going to happen, but it would be cool.
I'm going to. Oh, let's make him a Brajol guy.
Yes.
Let's make him such a Bruins. Like people will see him and be like, oh. Is that Dan Soder? And he's wearing a 55. He's wearing a Johnny Boychuk shirt? That's what? Oh my goodness. That guy is the biggest Bruins fan. He specifically really likes the Boston Bruins, it turns out. I did see you were equally into the Sam J set at She is so fucking funny. I saw her recently and she tore the house down. She's incredible. Great Boston comic. I'm going to ask you, not because of anybody you know, do you, because of you strong woman, do you know Sam J?
No, I think I've met her twice. But I say no because I've met her in settings where if I were her, I wouldn't remember having met me. So I'm giving her the out. But yeah, we've met a couple times. She's so funny. You saw her, I assume, opening for Shane.
Yes.
Yeah, she's really funny. Her set was absolutely killer. And it was just fun to see. She relentless. Everything she said to Drew Bledsoe was like imagining having to say that to somebody's face. Like when she was like, I grew up hearing your name a lot around my house. People were like, this guy sucks. This guy's the worst. Telling him that if he kills himself, he'd still be the second most famous patriot to ever do that. Crazy.
Oh my God.
Crazy. She's a killer. So that was awesome to see.
That gets back to like the main takeaway of that roast was like, how the fuck, like leave it to the white dummies from the Patriots to do the thing in 2024 that is like, how is this couldn't be allowed anywhere the last even 10 years now. It was all gay jokes, murder jokes, all like every joke that you thought was kind of done. Rob Gronkowski was like doing some awful, very graphic stuff.
My least favorite point of the night, and that's no offense to Gronk. I like Gronk. I've met Gronk. We've chatted. Great, nice. It was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I loved the way that Kevin Hart was like, sometimes when white boys go off on their jokes, you get a little. He was like, me and Randy were making eye contact during that, being like, are we safe? So yeah,
that is a specific thing to. That is a specific thing to white dudes, and you don't know my plight, Katie, as a straight white man who grew up not liking wrestling or dick jokes. I did not think there was a world for me out there, and then I met other weird sports people, and wouldn't you know it, there's an avenue, even though that whole avenue hates me as well. But seeing somebody be like, why are white dudes always talking about dicks? I was like, yeah.
It was a lot. It was a lot of dicks. That long joke that I think Bill Belichick tried to tell him not to tell about like how how long
his
a dick was.
Stretched like cross country. Yeah.
And then Ben Affleck is going to pretend to give a blowjob to a microphone and walk off on that? That's insane. That's nuts. What are you doing, Ben Affleck?
Affleck was so bad. And I love him.
I
didn't like the Jersey Girl slander. He's been in a lot of bad movies. Jersey Girl isn't one of them.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's cute. It's not great, but it's cute.
Ben Affleck was famously in Geely.
Yes,
that movie sucked ass.
That was good roast joke, Pete. That's good.
Thanks.
Ben Affleck, I saw your movie Geely, and it was bad. idiot.
Cooked.
Well, I think this was a productive Bruins conversation and a nice little hockey breakdown that we did. We discussed cigarettes and sexism and the way white boys are sometimes. So Sean got mad at Pete for saying that the hockey world and the sporting world is going to come around on that scrappy city of Boston.
Mhm.
This has been good.
It's been lovely. Can't wait to talk to you in like 3 days where we hate the Bruins.
I was just gonna say before I go, who's the star of the Sabres? Who's their big guy?
Tage Thompson, literally.
I guess.
He's a big guy.
They have a lot of big guys. Tage Thompson, Owen
Rasmus
Power,
Dahlin.
Rasmus Dahlin.
Macklin Celebrini after tonight.
So the Sabres have a good team. They just have a bad coach. And then they fired their bad coach and then hired another bad coach who was previously their bad coach. So they're
endearing.
That's right. Yeah.
They're stupid, endearing. Hey, no pressure. Can you ask Dan to come on as a Bruins guest one time?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if it was pressure, I would open the door and I'd do it right now, but I won't do that to him. But yeah.
Behavior grade A-, asking a current guest to ask another guest if they want to be a guest.
Oh, no. Networking is, and that's what sucks about running this shit. We don't have bosses. We don't have people to get stuff.
That's the worst. Booking your own show is the absolute worst.
You have to ask for favors, and it feels bad sometimes. Even like when I ask you, I feel, even though you're happy to do it and you're great when you come on, being like,
Thanks.
hey, there's never a time where it doesn't feel weird to be like, can you come on my podcast?
Yeah. I get that. But
how
I'm
does
just
Dan
sitting
do it?
here. I think he has, I think his agent helps, but also he just asks. Mostly it's just his friends. But yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of those.
Texts. I know, me neither. But I have you guys. So, and Myrtle, hi, honey.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we love you. Thanks for coming on again.
And we, Myrtle and I, love you. And go Bruins. And please, let's just stay happy for the next few days instead of sad.
Please. I would love that. And also, I hope Myrtle feels better.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll let you know what kind of goop we have to put into her eyes. Isn't that right, Gwyneth Paltrow?
We all silly like the mayor.